Baseball historians will tell you that since the inception of the Venezuelan Professional Baseball League, the number of players who have hit 4 home runs in a single game can be counted on one hand, a feat rarer than a perfect game in the MLB, reserved only for legends cemented in bronze. Yet what they won't tell you is the almost unbearable weight that comes with wearing the Acuña name, a burden that many believed would forever crush the potential of the younger brother, Luisangel.
Today, we peel back the layers of pressure, lineage, and sheer raw power to examine the night Luisangel didn't just step into the light, he detonated it, shattering records in the pressure cooker of the round-robin tournament, a stage reserved for the nation's elite. That unbearable weight, that historical silence, is exactly what 601 Daily News will dissect with you right now, piece by explosive piece, to uncover the hidden mechanism that transformed potential into performance on that pivotal night. The moment the first ball left the bat, described by the commentator as a batazo enorme laberintico, the narrative shifted instantly. Yet the immediate reaction, the instinctual skepticism, followed just as quickly. Many viewers, certainly those outside the Venezuelan faithful, instantly asked, was the pitching just that bad? It's a fair question, one rooted in the bias against Winter League quality, but the assumption collapses under scrutiny when you analyze the context.
This was the round robin, a high-stakes mini-season where the quality elevates dramatically, featuring hardened veterans and prospects fighting for status. The first home run, the one that put Cardenales back in the lead, wasn't a mistake pitch. It was a high-leveraged fastball clocked at 95 miles per hour on the inner half, the kind of pitch most prospects foul off or watch go by.
As Coach Ramirez, a veteran scout with 3 decades of experience in the Caribbean leagues, later noted, "Look, the first blast was pure confidence. He attacked a pitch that commanded respect. But the second one? That was the adjustment. He flattened the barrel path just enough to turn a warning track fly into an absolute missile. We clocked that exit velocity at 114 miles per hour. That is MLB elite speed, period." You don't hit 114 miles per hour against a reliever fighting for his professional existence unless you are absolutely locked in. Cardenales had only managed an anemic 1.2 home runs per game in the entire round robin until that night, significantly below the league average of 1.7, underscoring just how desperate they were for a spark, and Luisangel provided not just a spark, but a bonfire.
The drama escalated with the third swing, the one where the commentator lost his composure, noting, "Figura no puede ser. Luisangel Acuña la enganchó y la volvió a sacar." This is where the physics gave way to the psychology. For years, as Javier El Toro Perez, a retired LVBP legend and color commentator, observed, Luisangel was mentally suffocated by his lineage. For years, Luisangel was the other one. He carried the shadow of an MVP, Ronald, a shadow that stretched across the continent. You could see the tension in his shoulders, the overthinking in his stance, the slight hitch that betrayed the pressure. But when he hit the third homer, the shift was physical. His face was different. He wasn't playing for Ronald or for the league. He was playing for himself. That third swing was pure liberation, an explosion of self-belief that only comes when you actively reject the expectations placed upon you. This perspective introduces the core conflict. The greatest obstacle Luisangel faced wasn't the opposing pitcher, it was the psychological barrier of becoming the second Acuña superstar, a burden few athletes ever managed to shed. We must pause on the significance of the third blast, because statistically, that's where the narrative should have ended. 3 home runs in a single game is monumental, the kind of performance that guarantees Player of the Week honors and national adoration. The temptation for any player in that situation is to protect the streak, to choke up, to play it safe, or simply to celebrate internally. But Luisangel, heading into his final plate appearance, didn't show the typical signs of satisfaction.
He was reported by teammates to be intensely focused, rejecting high fives, and talking only about the pitch selection of the new reliever, a veteran sidewinder known for his deceptive low 90s sinker, a completely different look from the previous 3 arms. This brings us to the ultimate climax, the legendary fourth swing, a moment that transcended baseball and became immediate Venezuelan history. The commentator's voice swells to a scream. Batazo enorme por la izquierda, lo enganchó y la sacó Luisangel Acuña, 4 jonrones hoy, inéditos en la historia de la Liga Venezolana de Béisbol Profesional. This wasn't just a physical accomplishment. It was, as historian Dr. Alistair Finch later analyzed, a socio-cultural hammer blow. Dr. Finch continued, "In a league defined by tradition and pedigree, Luisangel didn't just break the record, he vaporized the expectation that he must remain subordinate to his family lineage. He claimed his own narrative that night." The true plot twist, the piece of information that makes this story so much deeper than just a statistical oddity, is related to the very foundation of the Acuña legacy. For years, Ronald Acuña Sr. had managed the career of his eldest son with meticulous detail, yet he had struggled to connect with Luisangel's more internal, sensitive nature. The hidden mechanism we promised to reveal at the start? It wasn't the physical training. It was the deliberate mental conditioning. Luisangel's father, seeing the unbearable pressure mounted on his younger son, had secretly engaged the services of Dr. Elena Rojas, a sports psychologist specializing in self-identity and high-stakes performance, instructing her specifically to help Luisangel separate his worth from his brother's achievements. She didn't teach him how to swing harder, she taught him how to breathe out the pressure. That 4th home run against the junk-balling veteran was the perfect manifestation of this psychological breakthrough, proving that he could maintain composure and adjust technique even after 3 prior successes, a mental feat far rarer than the physical display itself. He wasn't relying on luck or adrenaline. He was relying on a newfound, unshakable sense of self. We've examined the physics and the psychology, the pressure and the performance. But the question remains, now that Luisangel has proven he can carry the weight of history, a weight previously thought impossible for a young man overshadowed by greatness, what is his ceiling? Is he destined to merely be an all-star? Or does this 4-homer night signify the birth of a generational co-superstar alongside his brother? If you found this deep dive into baseball history compelling, make sure you smash that like button, share this video with fellow fanatics, and subscribe to 601 Daily News for more analytical breakdowns of the world's most intense sporting moments. Let us know in the comments below which Acuña brother will finish their career with the higher home run total.